we thought, how fun would it be if a force guiding Elena on her journey was her future self? This part of her that knows she's going to be president, but Elena's like not ready to hear it yet.
Hey there, it's Kristen, and Diary of a Future President is back for season 2 on Disney+. Today we're talking with Ilana Peña, the creator of the show, about what we can expect in this season and what Elena's going to get up to trying to take on 7th grade. This season of Diary of a Future President starts out really strong with Elena knowing what she wants to do. She's manifesting things, but then she slowly starts to kind of feel deflated, while her brother is struggling to find his voice and be his most authentic self. I'd love if you could talk about those journeys.
Elena sort of ends season 1 learning and realizing hey, I think I'm a leader. I think I could be a leader. And then season 2, she sort of learns what being a leader really means. That it has ultimately not much to do with herself. She thinks it has everything to do with herself. Ultimately, it doesn't have much to do with herself. So Elena's going to learn that it's always really fun to start a character out so into it and like guns blazing, and then have her kind of be humbled and recognize this journey. And I think that Tess does such a beautiful job in portraying that journey and in experiencing that arc along with her future self, Gina Rodriguez. And for Bobby, Bobby, this is a character who's very closed off and doesn't always share things. So in season 2, we wanted to explore not just his coming out journey, but his journey into using his voice. While Elena kind of is learning to use her voice for good and what it means to be a leader over here, Bobby's over here learning how the value of sharing, the value of using your voice, the value of sharing yourself with the people you love. This is a character that season 1, we would have never imagined him, having the conversations he has in season 2. And his journey is as much about his identity as it is about, his emotions and what it's like to be vulnerable.
I gotta say, my favorite scene was him coming out to his mom in the car and her reaction. I just thought that was so beautifully done.
Thank you.
And, last season, I feel like Gina Rodriguez kind of appeared more in flash forwards as the future Elena. But in this season, she's appearing in episodes sort of as Elena's consciousness. I was getting Lizzie McGuire vibes.
Yeah.
I go in this new direction.
We use season 1 to kind of set up she becomes president. That's a thing now we know. That's in the world. It's in the title. She becomes president. And now because we have this diary and because we have the luxury of living inside this teenage girl's head, it's like when I was a teenager, at least, I was constantly imagining what I would be like when I was older. I was constantly having those conversations with myself. And we thought, how fun would it be if a force guiding Elena on her journey was her future self? This part of her that knows she's going to be president, but Elena's not ready to hear it yet. And as they kind of go throughout the season, Elena goes from being leave me alone, I'm busy, to turning to her future self for advice. And that's maturity. That's growing up.
And, I'm so invested in this family as a whole. I love, we're following this young, ambitious Latina, going after what she wants, making mistakes. The family as a whole, Gabby and Sam working together, the kids treating Sam like a father figure. I'd love to talk through those dynamics and what you kind of hope people take away from Elena and her family.
I hope that they can feel as connected as you do. I hope they can feel like it's their own family. It's definitely such a warm, supportive, loving family, but it's also not without its hurdles and heartbreaks. And this season, Elena and her mom they have a bit of a journey to go through together, very inspired by my relationship with my mom. And I think, I think that sometimes we feel like there can be this binary way of presenting families on television. Either everything's amazing, it's perfect, nothing can go wrong, or it's Succession and everybody hates each other. And I kind of, my family is so warm and so lovely and so supportive. And we also fail and we also make mistakes and we also learn how to communicate with each other and sometimes do it wrong. And I want that to be normalized. And it's embracing those kinds of missteps along the way and how we grow and learn from them that will make us strong.
The show, like we said, starts off with Elena's ready to take on the school, but it ends with a big cliffhanger. Why? Why are you doing this to us?
So we got a season 3. Everyone needs to binge and watch. So we get a season 3. And also, I just would love to hear what they think. You know why else? Because I hope that by the time you get to that part of the season, you are okay with either outcome.
I was trying to analyze her facial expressions. I was like, okay, maybe Amelia becomes a class rep, and maybe this is her, her runner-up spot, and then leading to her becoming the president down the line. This is her like maybe humbling moment, and then
Right. Well, that's the thing. I love that you have that because no matter what, she's like in a good place. She's learned something. So if she comes in guns blazing as student rep, she'll be armed. If she loses, she'll be armed. If it's a third thing that we'll find out if they give us a season 3, she'll be armed. So that's why everyone needs to binge and watch and tell their friends so you can see what happens in season 3.
If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my interviews right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.